If you're kicking yourself for missing out on classic Louis Vuitton designs that have been discontinued, then I have great news for you. 2024 is your year. Louis Vuitton is bringing back classics like the Montsouris Backpack, the Mirror Silver Vernis, Cognac Empreinte leather, and so much more. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. We will be looking at 5 different colorways and 2 different classic bags that will be released this year. I'm also going to give you my recommendations on what's better to buy pre-loved or new from the store when the products re-release this year. Hey there! If you're new here, this is Lula West Luxe, or if you're joining me in another video, welcome back. On my channel, I like to share advice you can actually use to make smarter luxury shopping decisions. I also like to preview new releases at my favorite brand, Louis Vuitton, and in today's video, we are doing both of those things. Let's kick things off with the 2 new canvas bags that are re-releasing. Let's start things off with the Montsouris Backpack. It was first released in '94 in 3 different sizes. We had the PM, MM, and then the largest size, the GM. And this was a full canvas backpack, but there was vachetta leather on the 2 shoulder straps and on the base of the bag. The bag was eventually discontinued, and then in 2017, Louis Vuitton redesigned and re-released it. However, the re-released version still had the leather shoulder straps, but it had just plain monogram canvas on the base of the bag. Fast forward now to 2024, and they are re-releasing it, redesigned yet again. This time, they've decided to put the leather back on the base of the bag as originally it was in '94, but they've replaced the leather straps with monogram canvas straps. So I thought it was really interesting that they swapped out the leather on the different parts of this bag. This will be released again in 3 different sizes, but not the 3 sizes we had before. We'll be getting the PM size and the MM size again. I do not see the GM size getting re-released. Instead, we will be getting the Montsouris Mini. I do not know yet what the exact dimensions are of the Mini Montsouris Backpack, but here are pictures and information that we do have on these bags. In US dollars, the Montsouris Mini will be $2,850. The Montsouris PM will be $3,050, and the Montsouris MM will be $3,300. And these will all be permanent additions to the Louis Vuitton product lineup. As for whether you should buy the Montsouris Backpack new or pre-loved, I actually recommend looking for this one pre-loved. The Montsouris Backpack, as we now know, has been around since the 90s, so there's a ton of them on the pre-loved market, and generally they resell for under $2,000. And considering the Mini is $2,800 and the prices only go up from there, you could easily save around $1,000 by looking for these on the pre-loved market. Now let's move on to the second new canvas bag being released this year. The very popular Cabas Tote will also be re-released this year. We actually saw a sneak peek of this bag on the Fall/Winter 2024 runway. I was so excited to see it on the runway. This was originally released in 3 different sizes. There was the Cabas Alto, the biggest size, the Mezzo was the medium size, and the Piano was the smallest size. I have seen confirmation that the Mezzo and the Piano will be re-released. I am not sure about the Alto. I can't confirm that, but hopefully they will bring back all 3 sizes. Louis Vuitton made one key design difference, and they made the straps adjustable. We saw these on the runway, as I said before, in the Fall Winter 24 show. There is a buckle with adjustments on one side of the strap, and it's on both sides of the bag as well. So both of the shoulder straps are adjustable. The prices I saw for these bags were $2,600 for the smaller Cabas Piano and $2,720 for the Cabas Mezzo. These are also permanent pieces in the Louis Vuitton collection. I do want to mention that, just as with the Montsouris Backpack, these are new permanent releases. And these are also pieces that, like the backpack, I recommend looking pre-loved for these because you can save a considerable amount of money by looking pre-loved. You could save around $2,000 off the retail price. So if that adjustable shoulder strap is not a deal breaker for you, I definitely think it's worth looking for these pre-loved. You can definitely score a huge savings off of the 2024 retail price. Let's move on now to a collection that's being re-released, and this was another one that we saw previewed in the Fall Winter 2024 runway show. And that collection I'm referring to is Monogram Ink. We saw this on the runway in gray Monogram Ink. However, the last time we saw Monogram Ink, it was in black. There was a small collection released in 2020, and that collection was in and out of stores in the blink of an eye, so I don't blame you if you missed it. This year, the re-release will be in gray. All the bags will be in gray except for one. There will be a Monogram Ink Noir in the Alma BB only. Let's take a look now at all the other bags coming in gray. We have again the Vanity Chain Pouch, the Alma BB, On The Go PM, and Neo Noe BB. So we will be getting 4 pieces, and this collection is expected to be in stores for about 6 months. However, considering how quickly the last collection sold out, I would definitely recommend get these new in the store and pre-order them if possible. Of course, you can't exactly buy these pre-loved because the last collection wasn't even the same color, even though it was the same general style. The pre-loved bags tend to resell for way above the retail price too. I often see the Speedy BB resell for around $4,000. So definitely, if you want Monogram Ink, pre-order it if possible. Get your hands on those bags when they come out. This collection will be launching on August 2nd. I would assume pre-orders will probably open around mid-July. And that's the Monogram Ink Collection. Let's move on to the next colorway now, coming in Empreinte Leather. Louis Vuitton is re-releasing one of their most popular colors in Empreinte Leather, Cognac. We last saw Cognac in 2022, and I am still kicking myself for not getting anything from that collection. So I was so happy to see that it's coming back this year. And you may already have heard that the Cognac Empreinte is being re-released. I have to take a quick minute to give a shout out to a friend of mine over on Instagram, EmfoLV2. He releases so much new information about Louis Vuitton releases. So if you're watching this video, I'm sure you probably already follow him, but if not, head over to Instagram and check out EmfoLV2. I have to just give a big shout out and a big thank you to him for being so generous with sharing information. Now, let's get back to the Cognac Empreinte. This was a collection, or excuse me, a seasonal color from fall 2022. It's coming back again this year, but unfortunately, one of the most popular bags from the last collection isn't being re-released again this year, and that would be the Speedy 25. So unfortunately, that bag's not coming back again, but let's take a look at what will be coming back. We will be getting the Carryall PM, the Pochette Live, Neverfull MM, Pochette Matisse, and On The Go MM. For small leather goods, we're getting the Simple Card Holder and the Victorine Wallet. This collection is launching on 2 different dates. The US release date is August 16th, and the worldwide release date is September 30th. I do think it's worth buying this collection new in store. I look at this collection on the pre-loved market and the prices are way jacked up. I've seen that Speedy sell for I think close to $4,000, the Neverfull as well in Cognac. So definitely get these in store if you can. I do think this collection has the potential to sell out, particularly in the more popular styles. Personally, I'm thinking about maybe getting the Carryall PM from this collection or maybe the Pochette Matisse. I'm not quite sure yet, but if you're planning on buying anything, comment down below and let me know what pieces you're eyeing. Now let's move on to the next collection, and it will also be releasing on the same dates, also in Empreinte leather. The next collection we're going to discuss was also last released in 2022. It's also in Empreinte leather, but fortunately this one I didn't miss out on. It is the Arizona Bicolor, and interestingly this year, we will be getting the Arizona Bicolor as well as the Arizona Empreinte leather, just the regular Empreinte that's one color, not this bicolor. So we will be getting both regular Arizona Empreinte and Arizona Bicolor Empreinte. The bicolor will look just like this. We have the beautiful caramel Arizona color here, and the giant monogram print will be in cream. So half of the pieces will look like this. The other half of the pieces will just be plain Empreinte leather, none of the bicolor. Let's take a look at what's coming now. In the Arizona Cream Bicolor, we'll be getting the Speedy Bandolier 20, Pochette Matisse East-West, Ivy Walk, and On The Go PM. For small leather goods, we'll be getting the Zippy Coin Purse and the Emily Wallet. In the plain Arizona Empreinte, we will be getting the Neo Noe MM, Diane, Felicie Pochette, and the Clemence Wallet for the one small leather good. This collection will be releasing the same dates as Cognac. The United States launch date is August 16th, and the worldwide launch date is September 30th. The prices for this collection are very reasonable. They're your standard price for these pieces in Empreinte leather or the bicolor Empreinte. There's no upcharge for these seasonal colors. As for whether you should buy these pre-loved or new from the boutique, it's really a toss-up and it depends on the specific piece you want. A lot of the bags in this collection you might not be able to find pre-loved. There are some new bags like the Diane and the Ivy Walk that have never been released in this color before. So for this one, it's kind of a toss-up if you should get it pre-loved or new. I think it's worth checking the pre-loved market just to see if you can find anything, but if not, definitely go for these new in the store. I think this is a great colorway and these are great bags. And this is actually surprisingly the one bag I get complimented on the most when I go out in public. I am not exaggerating. Almost every time I go out in public, someone somewhere will say, "Oh, I love your bag. That's a really beautiful bag." So I really get compliments on this all the time. If you're considering the Arizona colorway, I would highly recommend it. For the past couple years, Epi Leather has really been having a moment at Louis Vuitton. We've seen Epi Leather bags in so many of the runway shows. We just saw Epi leather bags in the summer nautical collection. We're getting more Epi leather bags, but I absolutely love this. We are getting the re-release of Heritage Colors in Epi leather. There is an Epi Heritage Colors collection launching in September. The release date is September 20th. We are getting classic colors like Borneo, that really rich deep green, Fauve, which is that beautiful warm brown, as well as Rouge Castilian and Noir. Let's take a look now at all the bags coming in all these colorways. Unfortunately, there's not a ton, but let's see what's coming, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the collection. In Borneo, we're getting the Alma BB, the Noe BB, and the Never Full MM. In Fauve, we're getting the Noe MM and the Never Full MM. And in the last two colors, Rouge Castilian and Noir, both will include only the Never Full MM. All of these colors will be seasonal. They're expected to be in stores for about 4 to 6 months, except for the Never Full MM in Noir. That will be a permanent new addition to the Louis Vuitton collection. However, as excited as I am for this collection, I do have to recommend looking for these pre-loved. If you're familiar with Epi leather at all, you probably know that it really doesn't hold its value very well on the pre-loved market. You can very easily find Epi leather bags for $1,000 or under, of course, depending on the condition. But Epi leather is a very durable leather. It's weather resistant, it's scratch resistant. It really does hold up beautifully. I really recommend looking pre-loved for the Epi Heritage Colors in 2024. Now, for easily the most iconic re-release of the year, I hope you're sitting down for this because we are getting the Mirror Silver Vernis leather. Yes, you heard me right. I am so excited for this. Let's take a look at what bags will be coming in the Mirror Silver Vernis. We will be getting that iconic classic Alma GM. It will be re-released. Other bags will include the Loop PM, Speedy Bandolier 20, Pochette Twin, and Capucine Mini. Very interesting, the Capucine Mini. For small leather goods, we're getting the Zippy coin purse and the Heart coin purse. I'm so excited for it. This collection is only expected to be in stores for 3 months, and if any collection sells out on pre-order, I think this one might be the collection. So I recommend get this one new from the boutique. The resale prices for the Vernis Silver are insane. They resell for crazy prices. So get these new in store, and I recommend pre-ordering these, especially if you're going for the Alma GM, just because that is so classic. I think a lot of collectors will go for that piece. I think the Speedy Bandolier 20 will also sell out quickly, and the Heart coin purse. And this collection will also be launching on October 18th. So pre-orders should open around late September or early October. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll leave another video up here for you to watch next. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.